All right, let's get into it. It is Donovan and Dino on a Thursday evening. We're all presented, of course, by Master Pizza. Download the Master Pizza app. You can do it just on your phone, real quick. Wherever you get your app, get the Master Pizza app. Get some pizza points today because it's all about Master Pizza, Vince.
A taste above all.
Yes, it is. Now, Vince Fratiani is here because Jim Donovan is on his way to do the Red Zone. So, an STO 8 o'clock, catch Jimmy and the rest of the STO crew talking Browns and Broncos on Red Zone tonight. So, thank you first of all for filling in.
Hey, I like
coming out of the bullpen, baby.
Hey, I'm feeling it. I had to get the old arm warmed up a little bit.
You are the producer of the Front Row, which
Yep.
we have every night at 7 on weeknights at 7 on 3 News.
Yep.
I'm always curious, when you have holidays, and today is Halloween, and, obviously the bulk of the show, not all the show, because we got to do news and what else, things else that are going on around, area and things that affect you out there. But, a lot of it has got to be Halloween. I'm almost surprised Jimmy didn't dress up in a costume today because everybody else pretty much around here was. But how do you go about, putting a show like that together?
Well, like I said, the morning show had all of the thunder today. There was when I woke up this morning and I flipped it on and I saw Dave Chudowski and the guys dressed up like the Backstreet Boys. I went, I lose today.
Yes, everybody does. I'm saying, folks, go on Chud's Twitter handle or Michael Estime. Austin Love, those were the Backstreet Boys today on their social media
just three
accounts.
of them.
Yeah, and find it. It's really it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So you already have that working.
So yeah, for me, I thought, well, I can't upstage him, so we have to do something different. And so something different for us is, Lindsey Buckingham and Mike Polk.
Yes.
And so they do those ghost tours in Willoughby because Willoughby is considered this somehow haunted city. I personally, I'm a skeptic sometimes. I'm a believer other times.
Yes.
And this time I was far more of a skeptic. But we sent them out there and we let them do a ghost tour, and that was kind of like our big. Kind of our, I don't know if you have, it's like our capstone. That was our centerpiece of the night, was to do that as Halloween.
I'm learning more these last 2 nights, Drew Horansky last night and also tonight at Franklin Castle. Didn't realize that was one of our haunted Northeast Ohio places. But people will swear that this is big. There are haunted spirits in there. And I know there are other tours, but Willoughby's ghost tour is huge.
Yep. Willoughby, Franklin Castle came out of nowhere. And the Mansfield Reformatory is another big one.
Absolutely.
We have a good number of haunted kind of places around here. Whether you choose to believe that or not is up to you. But
were you trick or treat guy, Halloween guy growing up?
I was a big, I'm kind of a ham. Kind of, I was one.
Why does that shock me? Why does that shock?
I was the high school, the theater and all that stuff, and so my problem was when I got dressed up in a costume, I'd get into character. So if I was Batman, I was Batman. If I was
with the gruff voice,
I did the Hulk Hogan thing, and I'm out here. Oh, what you're gonna do, brother? Pointing at everybody and doing the poses and that. I couldn't help it because when you put that stuff on, it's like you feel. I think that's why people like to get dressed up for Comic Cons and stuff. You feel like more powerful, and there's something guttural about it. It's like it's just fun.
Right.
It's a good fun.
I was trying to remember the last time I've ever. First things first. When you're 6'7", take it by. When you're 6'7", it's hard to find a costume. It just is.
Not me. I'm like 5'8".
But I can't remember the last time I dressed up, and I'm like, I'm kind of like, maybe at some point I need to figure out. The last time I think I dressed up was at a Christmas party. I played an elf.
Like Buddy the Elf?
Exactly, more or less. And the irony there. But it's been a long time. And so I'm like, at some point, maybe I need to end this drought and dress up. But I haven't done it in a long time.
Do people ever troll you with suggestions? Go, well, you should be a basketball player.
A lot of that.
Throw on a Kevin Love jersey.
Exactly.
You're good.
Well, I liked Kevin Love's hockey mask, by the way, as the Jason.
Yeah.
Doing the press conference as Jason. I thought that was good.
That came out of nowhere.
I thought that was phenomenal.
Because he always gets dressed up, though, right? He's a big Halloween guy.
Yeah, he's a Halloween guy.
So
if you're trick or treat for a lot of people are coming to an end or about to come to an end, so hopefully everybody got lots of great treats, but you were safe out there. And several communities, though, are pushed back trick-or-treat because of the high winds and the weather.
Right.
So make sure you're checking out WKYC.com to find out updates on trick-or-treat times coming up the next couple days.
Yep, right up high on the page. Can't miss it.
Can't miss it. Okay. Now, the other thing I wanted to bring up with you besides Halloween, I spent a lot of time last night with Jimmy on the show talking about what transpired in the Browns locker room yesterday between Baker Mayfield and Tony Grossi, my former colleague and good friend at ESPN Cleveland.com.
Good friend of Jim Donovan.
Good friend of Jim Donovan. I think they're doing Red Zone together here in a little bit. What was your takeaway from it? Because I know you watched it and you were getting everybody ready for the shows and talking about it. What was your sense of it?
I understand both sides of this. It's weird because I can identify as a fan of the team that the frustration that happens when you're a player who is not living up to expectation. Your players around you are not living up to expectation. I mean, it sounds bad to say, but they're failing in pretty much every phase of the game. I mean, they're not competitive. Even those 0-16 teams were competitive.
Right.
These guys they're getting blown out in the fourth quarter sometimes.
Right. It's like they're in the 49er game and to some degree the Tennessee game, it was like they quit.
Right.
You know, they had that one bit of adversity that goes against them.
The one play that breaks your back.
That breaks your back, and all of a sudden they fold up and it's over. And people are like, oh yeah, now they're quitting. And when you have that multiple times, you might have that one clunker, it happens, but we've seen that now multiple times. And I realize the 49ers are undefeated, and we'll see what they do tonight, but I mean, that Tennessee game still sticks out because you can't lose that game.
Right. So I understand Mayfield's frustration. I understand why Tony did what he did. This is a group of reporters who have to watch some gnarly football over the last the last 20 years now. They've had to put up with
They're
covering
jaded,
these.
Man.
Oh my goodness! So they come out there and if you're looking like you're lethargic on offense, he's going to call you out for it. And whether it's perceived or whether it's deserved or not, it's his job to do that. I know we often get vilified for asking people questions that they don't want to answer.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, we can't lob them softballs every single time. So I get why he did that. The persistence in the way you needle them, personally, that's not my style of interviewing. I feel like they're not going to answer. They're going to shut down. So maybe pull it back and find something else to talk about because he's not going to give you the bite. He's not going to give you the angle that you're looking for. So just move on. At the same time, I think that we're seeing now this Browns team actually coming together through this adversity. And here's why. If you look at the way they've been defensive in these interviews, they don't attack one another. You don't hear Beckham or Landry coming out and throwing their quarterback under the bus. You don't hear Baker Mayfield. Exactly. Coach isn't really getting thrown under the bus. You could read into some quotes and think, well, maybe there's some questions here, but generally not. Mayfield doesn't come out and go, hey, I can't get the ball to these receivers because the offensive line's not doing their job. Nobody is doing any of that. They are coming together. I think they're starting to look within themselves and ask a lot of really difficult questions.
So, and it'll be interesting to see how they come out Sunday because, I mean, Denver is a team that you talk about on the ropes right now. And I know, I mean, they still have a good defense, and Von Miller's still there. Whenever Von Miller's there, you got to take them seriously. But I mean, offensively, they're starting a quarterback who has as many NFL snaps as you and I, put together here. I mean, this is a game. I know Mile High's tough, but you go out there and you got to win. You got to beat this team. You got to win.
Unfortunately, the Browns have kind of been the get your mojo back team for a lot of other teams in the NFL. I mean, the Titans even had a small run before they started to fall apart.
But certainly 49ers, certainly Seattle.
Right.
I mean,
the 49ers, in my opinion, that was when people started taking the Niners seriously.
Yes.
Before then, they were the undefeated team that couldn't. That was why are they undefeated? They're not as good as the Patriots. And now you think, I mean, they're potentially one of the top two teams in the NFC right now.
Right. I mean, you are what your record is, and you're undefeated in the San Francisco's case. The other thing that stood out, I hope you had a chance to watch the show last night. We also have a link from Jimmy's take on WKYC.com. He brought up this other point that it like hit me over the head by a 2x4 as we were wrapping up the show. And I asked him, I said, Jimmy, why is Odell Beckham not meshing with this offense better? We're not in week 1 anymore. We're in week 8. What's going on? And Jimmy said, he goes, the Browns wasted this offseason.
Oh, absolutely.
And
they let him just skip all of the off-season activities.
Yep. And it wasn't just Odell. I mean, there were,
Sure.
I mean, Landry
did it too.
Landry didn't play much in the offseason, in the preseason at all.
Sure, the only guy who played in the preseason, Rashard Higgins, and they don't even put him on the field.
Right. So it's like they've, I think they expected that all this talent, they were just going to be able to flip a switch on September 6th or whatever, and it was just going to light up. And certainly we saw in that first drive against Tennessee it did.
Yeah.
But the proof has been since then, it's not been consistent, and it's amazing, Vince, how decisions that are made, some cases in May, in June, and July, affect you now in October, and we're virtually now in November.
Certainly. I think that's a rookie head coaching mistake.
Yeah.
Trying to placate the superstars because you don't feel that you necessarily have the credibility, perhaps. And now it's time to collect. And I think Freddie Kitchens learned a very valuable lesson. And will it cost him his job here? I don't think so.
Yeah.
But it's certainly an interesting growing experience. I'll be very curious to see it. I don't even want to fast forward beyond the season because I still want to see what happens here.
Me too.
But to see how next offseason is handled, I expect there will be a greater level of discipline in that building that was not exhibited this offseason.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could see some blockbuster changes in terms of the types of players that are brought in, the type, deals that might be made to find the right mix. And you said to go along with discipline.
And to Tony Grossi's point, a sense of urgency.
Yes.
It's something you don't necessarily see on the field sometimes. And it's something that I feel like the coaching staff and the way this team was run in the offseason, John Dorsey's going and getting all these players. Yeah, we feel good. And it feels like the whole thing was just a giant celebration of talent.
Right. And instead of let's get down to work and let's get the fundamentals right.
The teams that win do the work. It's cliche, but it's true.
Yeah, it's a worker league.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is. We'll see what happens. Again, Browns and the Broncos Sunday. We'll have full coverage. Of course, Jimmy's out there for us calling the game on the Browns Radio Network, but we'll have coverage back here at home at WKYC.com. And certainly Monday, must-see TV, Monday night, 7 o'clock on the front row as Jimmy and the gang, Bud and Mary Kay, break down the game. And hopefully we'll finally have some good news to talk about.
Oh, it feels like it's been forever.
Right? I mean, 3 losses in a row, but you had the bye week with that, and it's been like a month
since
we've been able to
exacerbates
talk
the whole
about
thing. Yep.
It's been a month since we've been able to talk about a win. But you could be a winner tonight if you call Master Pizza. They are a sponsor of Donovan and Dino. Remember, get that Master Pizza app on your smartphone, earn pizza points. Load up on some great food. Master Pizza is awesome.
Who doesn't order pizza on Halloween? I mean, that's a tradition in most households, right?
Because you don't want to cook. I mean, you get people coming over ringing the doorbell, saying trick or treat.
Yep.
You also want the pizza guy to be ringing the doorbell saying, I got your pizza. Master Pizza, come on in.
Yep.
Call Mike LaMarca and the great people at Master Pizza today. Remember that Master Pizza.
Taste above all.
My friend, it's always a pleasure.
Anytime.
All right. We'll see everybody back here next week. Thanks for watching Donovan and Dino right here on 3 News Facebook Live and also on YouTube. Yes.
Sweet.